The last time I uploaded a video onto YouTube was November of 2018, I think. So over a year ago. And I stopped. And I honestly don't think it has anything to do with YouTube. It has to do with me. It has to do with me. There are a whole bunch of things that have happened over the course of time that have kind of led me to where I am today. So specifically over the past year, I have not been myself. I wouldn't necessarily, this is where I'm going to get a little tripped up. I don't think I could have classified myself as having depression, but there were definitely periods where I have been depressed or have had feelings of being down. I can only explain it best as being on a roller coaster. And the roller coaster has ups and downs and ups and downs. And that's normal, I think, in life. Like, obviously, nobody is happy all the time. You're going to have your down moments. This past year specifically, I feel like I've had a lot of down moments. And I've been trying to figure out why. And there's a lot of factors that go into that, which I'm not going to get into all of them. I honestly think that things have lined up over the course of time that have contributed to where I'm at today. So for example, I'm going to take you like all the way back to high school. Could probably even go back as far as elementary, but I don't want to be here all day, so we won't do that. I remember in high school being called dramatic. And honestly, I probably would have called myself... No, that's a lie. I probably wouldn't have called myself dramatic back in high school because it always made me mad when other people called me dramatic. And by dramatic, I mean things that bothered me. I feel like they always went to the next level when they didn't necessarily need to. But back then I had things that I didn't realize at the time were coping mechanisms for me and self-care. For example, the only sport I ever did was swimming. And being in the pool and not being able to hear other people, you're kind of stuck with your own thoughts and you just swim. I stared at the bottom of that pool for 6 years and just thought about whatever it was that was on my mind at the time. I didn't really have a chance to suppress it. Didn't have music to listen to, wasn't talking to anybody else. It was my head in that water with my own thoughts, which I didn't realize at the time was very beneficial and therapeutic for me. Also in high school, music was a huge part of my life. I took every music class, I think, that they had to offer except jazz band because I played the flute. Long story short, no jazz flute in band when I was in high school. But I took music theory, I took chorus, I took band, I took select choir. If I had a study hall, I was in the music room because that was my safe space. That was my area to like go in a practice room and shut the door and grab the flute, or not even a musical instrument. Sometimes I would just use the practice room to do homework because it was quiet and it was a place that I could have to myself. After high school, I didn't have those things anymore. I swam a little bit in college, like the first year, not collegiately, but just leisurely, and that didn't last after that. And then I tried to take a band and a chorus class, but it just didn't feel the same to me, so I didn't pursue that after my freshman year of college. So 2 big things that I didn't realize at the time were really good for me were now gone. My grades were never that great. The coursework that I didn't care about, I just did it to get through it. And who cares if I got a 2.0? Who cares if I got a 1.0, which now I look back being like, Angela, what the hell? Are you kidding me? I've always been, and this is where For 2020, I don't want this to be a phrase that comes out of my mouth anymore. In the past, I've always, like, if it wasn't something I was passionate about, I would just do it to get it done. Like, it's good enough. And I'm tired of things being good enough. Quick side note, and I kind of went into this video being very frustrated. I'm very unorganized. I have to make a very conscious effort to organize things in a way that makes sense to me. So for example, this video that I'm shooting right now, I'm not even sure, like, it's probably going to be very jumbled and very rambly, and I apologize. But I have to just, like, get it out and then I can edit it down. Trying to find the tripod. I have 2 tripods. I cannot find either of them in this house right now. I was trying to find my HDMI cord that is specifically meant for my my Nikon camera to go into my television, so that way I can see the monitor and tell if I'm in focus. I have no idea if I'm in focus right now because I couldn't find that HDMI cord. I am so frustrated with things being all over the place. I am frustrated with being disorganized. I am frustrated that I am a serial procrastinator. And you can, like, if my sister and my mother are watching this right now, they would vouch. They would be like, Angela is definitely a procrastinator. I wait until the last minute to do almost everything because I, quote unquote, work better under pressure. No, I don't. I do it because I have to do it at that point, and I am so stressed out that I snap at anybody who's around me, and I'm tired of it. After college, didn't get into grad school, met Chris, so actually everything worked out the way that it was meant to. I didn't get into college, thus I stayed at my old job, started dating Chris, who I met at my old job. We get married, you know, good to go. So I'm grateful in a way that that's where my life took me, even though that's not where I thought my life would go. Chris and I, you know, got married in 2013. As most of you probably know, if this is the first time you're ever watching a video of mine, we got pregnant in 2015. We lost our son Connor in the 3rd trimester of my pregnancy at 31 weeks due to preeclampsia. I don't think I've ever fully, I don't like the term dealt with, but that's what I'm going to use for lack of a better phrase right now. I don't think I've ever fully dealt with the loss of Connor. This was something that got brought up. I saw a counselor for a little bit over this past year. I don't think I ever fully dealt with the loss of Connor. When I was home on a maternity leave with no baby, I did whatever I needed to do. I cried. I was angry. I filmed. I organized things. I did whatever it was that I felt like I needed to do to help cope with the loss. I remember going back to work, and this memory will never leave. But this is an example of when I started to suppress feelings and then never dealing with them, which I think contributes to where I am today. So I remember being at work, probably the first week that I was back to work, and our housekeeping person for our office came in and said, "You're back, you had the baby." Which wasn't totally wrong of her to say because I was visibly pregnant when I left. So thankfully Evie, go somewhere else, honey. Thankfully there was another woman at work with me who had also experienced a loss. So she was right there when it happened coincidentally, and I cried when I was asked. And then I suppressed it because I'm at work. And I don't need to deal with those feelings when I'm at work. And I don't remember if I came home and told Chris about it or not. But that kind of like started the suppressing. Like I didn't want to feel around certain people. I didn't want to feel in certain situations. You know, I would be invited to walks in memory of babies lost either, you know, during pregnancy or after, and I wouldn't go because I didn't want to get emotional in front of people, even though those people had gone through the same thing in many ways that Chris and I had. And he would want to go. He's like, I'll go if you want to go. Like, he was ready to go, and I didn't want to. It continued to the point where I feel like I didn't really deal with anything that would cause me to be emotional. And that was one of the things my counselor recently told me was, if you're feeling something, I want you to feel it. I want you to sit there and I want you to feel it and not sweep it under the rug, not brush it off. You need to sit with it. So I've gotten a little bit better at that lately. So suppressing my emotions, I think, has definitely contributed to where I am today. The procrastination stuff, that's always been part of me. I have to, again, make a very conscious effort to change that. That's something I will definitely be focusing on a lot in 2020. I have video ideas planned for that. Not for like procrastination per se, but for organizing. I have one that I'm gathering all of the things I need for on Amazon, and it's a cupboard organization video. I want to do these. Maybe I should have said this at the beginning of the video. 2020, I need to focus on me. I need to focus on me making myself better. Mentally, physically, spiritually, however it needs to be. I don't like where I am now. And I don't like where I've been, probably specifically since we lost Connor. I feel like everything up to that point, procrastination, not being organized, had always been there. But after Connor, I feel like it got worse. And I don't know if that's common. I don't know if that's typical. But I feel like everything just got worse. Anxiety, going back to being dramatic in high school, I feel like that was probably a mild form of anxiety. Like, things bothered me more than they should have. I worried more than I should have. I worry a lot now. Yeah, I've had bouts of anxiety here and there. But I think why I had never sought counseling or a therapist or medication or anything like that is because I've always been functioning. I get up, albeit maybe sometimes a little late. I get up, I get myself ready, I go to work, I come home, I make dinner, I hang out with Chris and Kinsley, I go to bed, I do it all over again. I go to work because I have to go to work. If I don't go to work, that causes me more anxiety. For some people out there, they can't get out of bed. They're not functioning. I've never been at that place. I've always, for the most part, been able to get up, get ready, go to work, because not going to work stresses me out more than if I were to stay home and not go to work. I think a lot of people wouldn't know that all of this is like the headspace of where I've been. Because I go to work. That's another thing. I've changed jobs over this past year. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. So, I might have been more confined to my workspace and not really gotten up and was social, but I was still there. And some days I would be social butterfly, go around. How are you? How have things been going? So I don't think a lot of people would have known that this is where my head has been for a while. But I would get home and I would be exhausted. I would come home and all of my energy that I had, I channeled into work. My old job, I worked with youth. I helped youth. I talked to them one-on-one. I taught in front of, I was like the guest speaker, if you will, that would go into classrooms. I had to turn it on. I had to be not entertaining, even though the subjects that I taught were very entertaining. But I almost kind of felt like, you teach 7 periods within a day. You have to be on your game. And that wasn't my schedule all the time. But even if I didn't teach one day and just met with kids all day one-on-one, that's still So I've done WW since August. It's going to feel very weird to say WW, by the way. I feel like it'll always be Weight Watchers. I've lost 15 pounds. I'm very close to hitting my first goal of being under 200 pounds. And from there, would like to lose 50-ish more after that. So I will be doing videos surrounding weight loss. I love, 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 love the what I eat in a day videos that other people do. No matter what their lifestyle of eating is, I do find myself watching a lot of the WW focused ones right now because it gives me more ideas on what to snack on and breakfast and lunch and dinner. So I want to do those in hopes of finding like new products along the way that I like, but then sharing them with you, to those who are interested in watching that specific content. I may do some like recipe videos. I would like to do grocery hauls. I love watching grocery hauls. Just, I don't know. I like watching what other, not watching them eat, but I like seeing what other people buy to eat. I don't know if that sounds creepy or not, but that's what I like to do. I like those videos, so I want to film those too. I also have an Instagram specifically for weight loss. If anybody is listening to this and they're like, oh my gosh, yes, that would be great. And you want to follow on Instagram, it's angela.wayte.loss. Get it? Angela, weight, loss. Angela, weight loss. Anyway, and then I think on top of that, I want to focus on organizing videos. So like I said earlier, I have a kitchen cupboard that is very messy and very cluttered. And I would like to have a shopping cart full of products that I'm going to use to organize that so I can show a before and after. I want to film some like clean with me videos. I love watching those because they get me in the mood to clean. It's motivating to see somebody's house look like how mine looks, because I feel like I'm not so alone. And then seeing it cleaned and seeing how they cleaned it and how they organize things, and to think like, oh yeah, I wouldn't have thought to do that. Also, just so you guys know that I'm not lying about the status of my house, let's do a quick house tour, shall we? So, here's my living room. Granted, it was just Christmas, but there's a lot of stuff here that shouldn't be here. So all the Christmas decorations are going to be taken down today. I am planning on rearranging this living room. So that way, yeah, oh yeah, this too. Look, ready? Look! I'm not joking. I want this couch to be where the chair is, with the back facing the window. And that way that portion of the house out here can be more of like a play area for Kinsley. And then this whole space will be more for just Chris and I. And of course, Kinsley can bring her toys, over here, and that's fine. But there's going to be a place to put everything back. So now I have to take the toys that she just got for Christmas and reorganize them. So this living room will hopefully look very different by the end of tonight. Here's the bedroom that remember how I said I don't fold laundry that often? Kinsley, can you push the door open? Oh look, she can only push it halfway. Why? Because there's clothes on the other side. Well, those are just towels. Those are actually pretty easy to fold. But I've got clothes there. The bed's not made. My desk is a disaster. Although the drawers I did declutter this year, and that helped things out a lot. This is really embarrassing. So this is my drawers, which that drives me bonkers. I don't know why I do that. My closet isn't in too bad of shape. I've got some like old purses that I put in one big purse, and I've done an okay job at organizing this a little bit more. This doesn't look too bad. This is actually much better than what it used to be. So I'm making small strides here and there, but definitely have a lot of work to do. That's what I want 2020 to be. I want it to be videos focused on bettering myself in hopes that it'll help those who are looking to better themselves. It'll help give them some motivation. So weight loss, organizing, cleaning, and of course I can talk about anything else along the way. I know I haven't talked a lot about grief on my channel, probably because I've been suppressing it. So if there's anything like specific around there, Chris is home. I'll be right back. Sit with me. Can you say hi?
Hi. Dad can't hear me.
They can't. No. Well, they'll be able to hear you, but they can't. They can't talk back.
No.
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 So that's kind of kids like. back up, babe. You wanna go play?
Yeah.
Okay, you go play. I'm gonna talk to the camera. Okay. I'm gonna talk to that. Okay.
I'm gonna see it.
You can go on the other side and look. Can you see me? Don't touch it. No touch, okay?
We just forgot it.
You're just looking at it. Good idea.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Kinsley.
Let me touch your mouth.
She has her little dentist tool behind the camera, trying to check my mouth in the viewfinder. So that's kind of, I don't remember where I left off, but that's what my focus is going to be for 2020 is just how do I make my life better and documenting that and hopefully being in a much better headspace in 2020 and going into 2021 a year from now. My goal is that a year from now I can shoot this video again and say, look at all these things that I've done that have made me better and feel better. Do you want to say goodbye with me?
Yeah.
Can you say bye?
Bye.
Well, can you come over here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. Bye.
Bye. Can you say, see you in the next video?
See you in this video.
Bye, guys.